Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse, and I am back for another hardware review and a little bit of an app review as well. Been working on this for a little over a week now, and yeah, it is that time. We are finally going to take a look at the Meta Rayban Smart glasses, essentially. These are, of course, from Meta and Ray-Ban. You can get them on either website, meta.com, or you can go to the Ray-Ban website. They have different combinations of frames and lenses, and you can even get prescription lenses. And I am going to be looking at this product from, of course, a blindness slash low vision user's perspective here. You may notice things are a little bit different this video. Yes, I am on camera to start with because I figure these are sunglasses. So it's probably not a bad idea to show like how they, what they look like. Because we've had smart glasses, we've had Google Glass in the past. The Envision glasses use that, and they're okay. But you've got this big old, thing on the right side of your head. It's a little bit, it fits a little bit weirdly. I mean, it's fine, but it's just a little bit different. These just look like regular Ray-Ban sunglasses, and you can get different tints. There are different frame colors. There are different like lens colors. Like I said, if you want you can get transition lenses, which I kind of almost wish that I would have. I just got the gray colored sunglasses style, which I still really like. But you can get them in transition lenses, different other color lenses. You can get them, they have like a small or medium or large frame. I got the large frame. You can get prescription lenses. And the nice thing is, the base price of these is about $329. So you think about a lot of these other smart glasses that are, geared more toward assistive technology or blind users. They could be, several hundred to even several $1,000s. I won't mention any names, but there's one that is that a lot of people talk about that is around $4,000, which, yeah, their tech is kind of cool, but that's a little bit of change to throw down for that. And like I said, these are only $329. Now, if you do get prescription lenses or even transition lenses, the prices will go up a little bit. But I mean, they're comfortable, they're lightweight. They really don't. I mean, granted, I really haven't like physically seen in person a pair of Ray-Ban glasses before. So I don't know if the frames themselves are quite as thick, or if there's any difference between these and like the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. But I have to imagine if they are different, they're close. They're close. I mean, if you didn't know any better, they look like just a regular pair of shades, and that's really cool. So yeah, I mean, they look like regular sunglasses. They feel like regular sunglasses, but they can do all kinds of cool stuff. Now, unfortunately, because I don't know how people have been doing it, I'm not going to be able to like have you hear the glasses because I don't quite know how to capture that really well. I did reach out online just to see what people were recommending or what people were doing to get the audio from these glasses, but I don't know. So unfortunately, I'm not really going to be able to give you an audio demonstration, but I'll do a couple different things. I'll give you the pluses and minuses that I found about them so far, tell you how I've used them, and then we'll take a quick look at the MetaView app, which you use in conjunction with the glasses. So hardware wise, like I said, they're just regular Ray-Ban glasses. On the front left side here, you have a tiny little lens that is for your camera. Now there's no flash on these, so again, thinking about blind low vision users, if you don't typically turn lights on indoors, you're not going to get a lot of success. You definitely want to have your, like when I go into the kitchen, I really want to have my overhead lights on because it's going to get a lot better. Even if I have like the little light on over the stove, sometimes that's not quite bright enough and it'll say, I can't really tell what's going on there. It just won't be able to recognize specifics. On the right hand side, on the opposite side, at the far right of the front of the glasses, there's another little, it's a little light actually, so it's off typically, but if you are taking a picture, it will blink on and it'll blink on and then off. If you record a video clip, the light will be on so people know that you are in fact recording. Or if you're using a streaming feature, you can stream to Instagram Live, I guess, which I have not done, but I'll explain more of that in a bit. But yeah, those are, you have your camera and you have your kind of notification light. On the very top, on the right hand side, there's a long rectangular button that's pretty easy to feel. That is your capture button. So if I hit it, it will take a picture. If I tap it and hold it for a second, it will start recording a video. Now the video clips, you can only record up to, by default, it's 30 seconds, and I think you can crank it up to 1 minute. So they're meant for like, your YouTube shorts or your TikTok generation. Part of me really wishes that there was a setting in the app, and it could be a limitation just because they're using Bluetooth for connectivity. I would love to be able to just stream a recording to my phone and then record as long as I wanted, just like I would with my phone camera or OBS on my computer here. Because, if I'm doing another hardware review for another device, how great would it be to just wear my glasses and point right at what I'm looking at, and then I could also have both my hands free to where I could, if I'm doing like the Steam Deck or this like a Switch or something, I could hold it with both hands, much more easily play the device. It would just be really nice if there was some way where, no, I don't want to stream to Facebook or I don't want to stream to Instagram, but I might want to record directly to my phone and have that capability for longer than a minute. That would be something I would love to see them add in the future. On the right-hand side, you have kind of a touch-sensitive panel here, and that basically, you have different gestures. So you tap once to play pause your media. You tap and hold to bring up your Meta AI assistant. You can swipe forward for louder, back for quieter volume. I believe it's double tap will skip forward a track if you're listening to music. Triple tap, I think, goes backwards. Double tapping it, if you get a call, will answer it. So yeah, you can do a lot of stuff that you would do with a normal Bluetooth headset. On the inside of the glasses, on the left side, there's a switch. So let's see. I don't know if it's going to be easy to see, but like there's a little switch in the thing where you can push it forward to turn it on. You can push it back to turn it off. And so, the cool thing is that if you are wearing these, yeah, the battery might die eventually. The nice thing is you still have a pair of sunglasses. So, you still have that. And that's really all of the controls. You got your button on the top. You've got your little touch sensitive thing on the right part of the frames, and then your camera and your notification light. And that's it. And that's really all you need. They do have little stereo speakers in them right now. So actually, surprisingly, the sound quality is better than I would have expected. When I'm listening to music, you have the full stereo because the speakers are on both sides. Music sounds good. I mean, of course, it's not gonna, give you impressive bass or anything like that. But, think of if you've ever used something like your Aftershocks or something like that, I would say it's on par roughly with those. It's great for listening to podcasts or audiobooks, a little bit of music every now and again. Of course, if you're a screen reader user like VoiceOver or TalkBack, you could use it with that, and that works just fine because it's just a Bluetooth headset basically. So anything that you can do with as a Bluetooth headset. I have made calls with it. I've called people. I've answered calls from people. I have sent text messages, and I've dictated text. So, like if I'm in an edit field and I wanted to edit something, that works just fine. I've done that for like things like Twitter and whatnot. And I mean, it's maybe there's a little bit of noticeable lag, but it's not as bad as some other headsets that I've used in the past. So yeah, there's that. But overall, like sound quality, responsiveness, comfort level, all of that is pretty good. I don't really have a problem with that at all. Um, but where I've really started using these things, of course, is with the AI, the Meta AI. Now, the problem with the Meta AI, there's a couple of problems. Um, One being, if you're not in the United States, I'm not sure if it's just the United States or North America in general. The AI is currently available in the United States, but there's a lot of countries where it is not available. So you can still buy these and use these as like a Bluetooth headset, and hopefully the AI feature will get to you guys soon. But you do not have the AI functionality. And you can use it just like you would any other, like a smart speaker or your assistant on your phone. You can use all of those types of things. So I can ask it the weather, I can ask it the battery status, I can ask it some factoid about whatever, just anything that you would do on, let's say, a smart speaker or a smart assistant of some kind. But then you can ask it to describe things. Now, again, keep in mind this is not this is not a pair of glasses that is designed for blind and low vision users. The reason that these really even have a camera and a microphone and speakers to begin with is because, again, you have all these people who love to do taking pictures and posting them to Facebook or Instagram, taking little video clips for Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or YouTube Shorts, whatever, or just any number of different things like that. It's really meant more, of course, because it's Meta, like as a social media tool. I do not have a Facebook account anymore, nor do I intend to get one. I do not have an Instagram account, nor do I really care to get one. But I do have a Meta account because I still have my Oculus Rift and my Oculus Quest. And so in order to keep having those access to those apps on my Quest and such, I need a Meta account. And so I just use that in order to set up my Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses. But what I was saying with the AI is that you can ask the assistant things like, what am I looking at? What does that sign say? Describe what's in front of me. And here's what I found is there's great things about this and there's limitations. What's been really convenient for me is being hands-free and just like at any instant I can just say the wake word, hey, you know who, the M word, and it will hear a tone, and then I can ask it whatever I want. And literally within about 2 seconds, usually, assuming I have a good internet connection, and it does use your phone's internet connection, so you have to be nearby your phone. But you ask it whatever, and within a couple seconds, it's got your answer. So it's been really great for that. Like, I've just been out and about. Like, I've used it in my apartment. I've been wearing my glasses, and I'll walk into the kitchen. And last night I got home from a work trip, And I'm like, I don't feel like cooking much. I'm just going to throw something in the oven, but I didn't remember how long I needed to cook it or what I had to preheat the oven for. So I just grabbed the packaging, looked at it, and said, "Hey, what are the cooking instructions?" And first try, it read exactly what I needed to do: preheat the oven to 425, cook it for like 12 to 14, 15 minutes, and life was good. I also did that the other day with another type of dinner. I said, "Hey, what are the cooking instructions?" It told me the stovetop directions I needed to do to make it. It worked great, actually. So, if you're using something like Be My Eyes or something like that, where, it just kind of describes things to you, or if you're using things like Seeing AI, where you're just literally having it read a document to you, um, the meta glasses don't work quite like that. Again, if you kind of have to be a little bit more targeted, a little bit more specific, and you have to kind of experiment a little bit with phrasing things and kind of coaxing it almost to get it to do what you want it to do. So, like, I was holding a DVD case or a Blu-ray case, and I looked at the back of it, and I wanted it to, read to me what was on the back. So first I said, describe what I'm looking at, or what am I looking at? And it said, oh, this is a Blu-ray case of blah blah blah. And then I said, well, can you read? I said, describe the back of the case. And so it told me a little bit of a summary. And what I found is that it will not one to one. You cannot really make it one to one, just flat out read a document to you. And that's a bummer. But if you just want like a summary, and a pretty decent summary at that, you can do that. So I can say, what does this paper say, or what does this DVD case say? And it'll it seems like it reads parts of it, but it also summarizes in a way. And so in a lot of cases that works. But it is unfortunate that I just can't straight up ask it to read from top to bottom if that's really what I want to do. But you can, like, again, if you're looking at, let's say, a frozen dinner or something that you want to cook, and if I ask it specifically, what are the cooking directions, that it will do, because it'll narrow in on that part of the packaging, and it can tell me that. So that is really, really helpful. The other day, I went down to our package room because I had a package I had to get, and so I was walking back to my apartment. I had my keys in one hand. I had the box in another hand, and I'm like, oh, I walked by the TV next to our mailboxes in the hallway, and there was a whole wall of text, and it basically just said,
Weather folder.
it basically just, oh, sorry about that. I hit my phone. It basically just, I asked it, what's on the screen? And yeah, it was this big wall of text, and apparently it gave this little bio of one of the people that had founded our apartment complex. Apparently he passed away recently, so it was kind of like a little tribute text to them. And so that was really cool. I could just walk down the hallway and look and just like, oh, what is that painting of? Or describe the painting I'm looking at. And you can do that. It's been really cool for that. So I've just been kind of looking at, I was out for work yesterday. I was out to a building I'd never been to, and we were waiting to be let in, or waiting to be seen for our appointment. So I was just looking around the lobby, and I just looked at a little welcome sign, and it had a lot of small text on it. I just said, hey, what does that sign say? And it told me. Um, if I look at an object, it's pretty decent at telling me what it is, but I find when I compare it to the Envision Assistant that I did the demo for, or Be My Eyes, either one of those are definitely more accurate at this point. The technical term people use is hallucinations, where your AI will see things that aren't there or misidentify things. And that does happen. I would say it happens more often with the glasses AI than it does with something like Be My Eyes or even the Envision Assistant that I'm testing. So there is that, but I'm sure again, I'm sure it'll get better because I think Meta is using their own AI. Like I don't necessarily know that they're using GPT or Google's AI engine. So I think Meta has their own. So again, that's a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, it generally does a pretty good job. Where these are going to be really handy for me is I could see like, again, walking down the sidewalk and there's a strip mall. I can just look up at a sign and be like, what store am I in front of? Or I can look at the door and I go, oh, what are the hours? If I go to the mall, God forbid, all the signs have all that goofy writing on them. I can be like, what store am I in front of? And I can actually have it read
Sports folder. 4 apps.
I can read
Double
the
tap to open.
stuff. Um, so that'll be really handy. But just like little incidental things that, fully sighted people take for granted, I can literally just like look at it and do my little touch gesture or say the keyword and just ask it real quick for that bit of information. And that's going to be super, super handy. And again, think if you have your hands full, just being able to say the keyword and get that information without having to pull out your phone, open up the app, find the button, don't accidentally bump it so you miss swipe to another button. Just being able to look at stuff, there's definitely a convenience and a cool factor there. There has been some limitations. Like I said earlier today, I went into the office and to meet with somebody. And while I was waiting, I went to the little lounge and I'm like, oh, let me take a picture or let me look at the vending machines, the like snack machines with the, like your chips and candy bars and stuff in there. So you have the glass front and they show the products in there. And I was trying to get it to tell me, um, like ideally what I would want it to do is like, okay, tell me what's roughly in there, but then I could say, list me the products in the first row. So then if it gave me those in order, I could be like, oh, the second one is, Cheetos, or the third one is a Snickers bar. So then I could figure out what the numbers were, but I just could not get it to do it. Like it was just too generic, and every time I tried to ask it specifics, it said I can't provide specific product information for whatever reason. It would just really say, oh, there are, chips and candy and like snack bars or whatever, like granola bars or whatever. So I really couldn't get it to tell me like specifics for something like that. And that is kind of a bummer because that is absolutely a use case that I would do is like, hey, I can vaguely see what's there. I can tell that the second row are candy bars. I can tell that the top two rows maybe might be chips, but I can't read the label, so I can't read what kind they are, what flavor they are. Um, I would love it if I could just use the glasses to do that. So you have that kind of a limitation. So I will say, as a blind or low vision user, yes, of course you're going to run into some limitations because these are not designed specifically for us. They're a general use pair of glasses that where their AI just so happens to have some very useful um, features that benefit us as low vision individuals. I will say also, I'm just
MetaView.
making sure my headset doesn't fall asleep here. One thing I forgot to mention is this is the case. It comes in the glasses come in a little case here. It's kind of got kind of a pleathery, plasticky feel to it. But it's got a hard surface to it, but it's kind of hard. It's kind of got a smooth, but a little bit of a rough, but smoother texture to it. Um, and you just basically you open it up. There's a little thingy right here. You just set the glasses in there, and there are contact points on the inner part of each like the inside of where your nose is, kind of like there are little contact points for that's where the headset charges in the case. There is a little USB-C port on the bottom, so you can charge the case via USB-C. And they say you can get about 3 to 4 hours of battery using these things. I haven't used them straight that way, so I don't know if I'm using them solidly, how long I would get. But when I went on a trip for work yesterday, and I left here probably at like around 11 o'clock is when I put them on, and I got home a little before 5, and they were still like, granted, now I made a phone call for about 5-10 minutes. I asked it several things. I listened to a podcast for maybe about 5-10 minutes, but because the rest of the time I was talking to the people in the car. But all that time it only went down to 80%. So I was, pretty impressed. I would imagine, maybe around, if you're thinking about like aftershocks, like they last surprisingly more often than I would think. But yeah, I mean, so far it's been pretty good. And your case has a little battery in it, so when you just like your AirPods or something, you can your case will charge your pair of glasses a few times before you have to charge, the whole case. So again, that's a very convenient thing when you're out on the road and whatnot. What else can I say about the like the AI? Like I said, I've used it as a Bluetooth headset quite a bit. I've made phone calls with it. I actually was on a Zoom webinar this morning. Shout out to XR Access, by the way, for their symposium. And so I was getting ready to head into the office, and I was just listening to my Zoom call on the glasses, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Listened to it on the way into work. That worked really well. And I've called at least 3 or 4 people using the glasses, and all of them have said, here's the good thing, is that the microphones on these things are actually pretty decent. Quite good, actually. I was in the car, an SUV that was, a bit of noise, and there were 2 people in the front of the car talking. When I was talking on the
Meta
phone,
View.
they couldn't
Double
hear
tap
me.
to open.
They maybe had just heard a little, like when one of the people up front were talking. But they said, no, you're actually, for a Bluetooth headset, you're surprisingly clear. So yeah, I mean, it actually surprisingly, like I said, most Bluetooth headsets, unless they have like a boom mic or something, most Bluetooth headsets suck for their microphone quality. And these are actually not too bad. Um, and that's kind of my use cases for them. Like I say, you can use them if you want to do stuff with Facebook and Instagram. If you're more interested in that type of functionality, I would go check out another review because that's just something I really don't have any interest in because I don't have those accounts. Um, they do integrate when you're going through the setup process in the app. You can make it automatically work more with, so you can trigger the assistant to play music from Apple Music and Spotify, and I think Amazon Music. I haven't actually tried the Amazon Music yet, but I do most of my music through YouTube Music, so unfortunately they don't integrate directly with that. However, as long as whatever, if you're using Audible or Voice Dream or um, YouTube Music, whatever you're listening to, if it doesn't support the direct assistant or like the AI triggering to play music from that service, as long as you start it on the phone. So if I pull open YouTube Music and hit play, from that point on, I can play pause, I can fast forward or rewind or skip tracks. So that you can do. You just can't initiate like, oh, I can't just say, hey, play my rock playlist or play my drums playlist because they don't integrate directly with YouTube Music. But if you use Spotify or Apple Music, you can directly interface with those services, and you do that during the setup process in the app, or you can do it at any time. So That is kind of an overview of the glasses themselves. And to give you an idea of the speed, again, I'm sorry that I'm not able to, so you can't hear the glasses because I'm just not sure how I would make that work. I'm just going to trigger it here. Hey, Meta, look, what am I looking at? It snaps the picture, and you are looking at a computer setup with a monitor, keyboard, mouse, and tower. Cancel. So right now I have mine set where you can ask it a follow-up question. You'll hear a little room, and you can ask it a follow-up question. So if you want more details, you can ask it right away without having to say the wake word. I might turn that off because sometimes I want that, sometimes I don't. It's just as easy for me to say the keyword or do the gesture again if I need to. So I haven't decided how I'm going to keep that setting, but that's literally how fast it is. Hey Meta, what's the weather? In St. Paul, it is currently cloudy with 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Cancel. So listen, I mean, that's how responsive it is. And it does have a really good natural sounding voice. I have no complaints there. So again, sorry I'm not able to show you that directly, but again, I was saying it as soon as it was saying something, I was repeating it back to you. So that is how fast it is. Especially if you have a solid internet connection, it's not quite, but it's like 2-3 seconds tops. So it's not quite real time, but it's darn close. Those are really the glasses themselves. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to minimize the camera so I can get rid of my ugly mug. And we're going to switch over to my iPhone that I have shared to my screen. And I will show you a little bit of the Meta app.
MetaView. Arc search. MetaView.
So MetaView, this is a free app that you download in the store.
MetaView. Back button.
And we're going to go
Photo,
back.
June 6 at Photo. June 6 at 11:39 a.m.
No, I said.
Photo. June 6 at 11:39 a.m. Share to ellipsis button. Photo.
Let's
June
see.
6. Photo. June 6 at 11:30. Photo. June 6 at 11:39. Back button.
Oh, you're being okay.
Back button. Photo. June 6 at 11.
Let me double check something here real quick. I think it was mad because I have too many apps open here. I have like multiple headsets on my head and
35 apps.
Whatnot, so it was getting a little bit grumpy here. So let's open it up here.
MetaView.
And so what I will say is the setup process is voiceover accessible. I had no problem doing it. Basically, when you start up the process, it will tell you to take your glasses out of the case, remove the little
settings. Connected. Glasses battery 51%.
Remove the like there's a little sheet thing in there or whatever that over the contacts for the battery. You take that out, and then it'll tell you to put the glasses back in its case. And also on the bottom or on the back of the case, there is a pairing button for Bluetooth. So you can, what I had to do is I just had to hold that down for a couple seconds. And then the device just, boop, I got a notification. It paired it, it saw it, and then it checked for any firmware updates. It did that because there was one. That took a few minutes, but it just stayed in the case and it updated the firmware. And then it actually goes through a little bit of a tutorial. It kind of walks you through like, okay, here's where your capture button is to take, and it told you kind of how to do a screenshot or take a picture or how to record a short video clip. It told you how to raise and lower the volume or how to use the Meta Assistant. So it walked you through most of the basics. Now you're still going to have to probably look up like, some of the other gestures for rewinding, fast forwarding. I had to look up like the actual gesture for triggering the assistant because it wanted you to use your voice. And what I will say about the voice is I've heard a couple reviews say that if you disable the hey you know who, if you disable that voice feature and just rely on using your gesture, on the side of your glasses to do it, you will actually save a fair bit of battery life. So your battery will last a lot longer because it's not always having to listen for that wake word. And that makes sense. But on the bottom, or let's see, on the top.
Connected. Glasses battery 50%. Button.
Okay,
Take
so
you
we're
to
at
settings.
60%.
Connected. Glasses battery device settings.
We'll go
Heading.
into settings here.
Glasses and privacy. Button. Meta AI. Button.
So there's our Meta AI. We'll
Meta
go in
AI,
there in a
button.
minute.
Camera. Button.
Camera.
Communication. Button. Music. Button.
Music.
Help and support. Button. Amazon Music. Button. Apple Music. Button. Com. Button. Gallery. Button. Com. Button. Spotify. Button. Notifications. Button. Home. Button. Gallery. Button. Meta AI. Button.
So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff under settings.
Meta AI. Button.
If I go into Meta
Use Meta AI to
AI,
ask about what you see. Use Meta AI to ask about what you see. Get information and control your glasses using your voice.
so that's what I was doing a little bit ago.
Meta AI. Switch button. On.
So you can
Double
turn
tap
that
to toggle
off if
setting.
you really want to.
Hey Meta Preferences. Button.
So you can do Hey Meta Preferences.
Camera use. Switch button. On. Double tap to toggle setting.
So I guess you could just have it where you can ask it questions but turn the camera functionality off. But again, as a low vision user, that's really what I want is the camera feature.
The contents of the image may be used to understand your location and provide a more relevant answer.
Yeah.
Learn more. Language and voice. Button. Cellular updates. Button. Updates are required when you choose a new language or voice.
Right. So that makes sense. And so that's what's under AI.
Device settings. Meta AI. Camera. Button.
Camera. I don't even know what's
Capture
under
button.
here.
Change the capture button. Change the press once or press and hold gesture for taking photos and videos. Button.
Oh, okay. So I can change that. I'm going to leave it because I like what it is.
Video length. Button.
Let's go in
Select
here.
when
Let's
your glasses
see.
will automatically 60 seconds. Check. 30 seconds. Unchecked. Button. 15 seconds. Unchecked.
Oh.
Select video length. Select when your glasses will automatically stop recording.
Yeah.
60 seconds. Checked. Button. Item 3
So
of 3.
yeah, this is where I can only record for
Capture
60
button. Change the
seconds,
press.
and that's a bummer. Because what I will say is when you are you're taking a picture or recording that, up to a minute video clip, it's actually saved to your glasses, believe it or not. You're not saving it to your phone. Because in order to, especially on iOS, I guess it works a little bit differently on Android, but on iOS, you have to do this little setup spiel where you have to give the app a bunch of permissions so it can access your photo and video library, and so it can do this, that, and the other thing. It walks you through it. But once I take that picture or that video clip, I'll show you that in a moment, but you go under a different tab and you import the new pictures that you've taken, and then they will appear in the MetaView app, but they will also appear then if you give it full access to your camera roll, you will also see them appear in your camera roll, so you can treat them and put them just in whatever photo or video library you have in your Photos app. So it's a little bit clunky, but it's not terrible. Like once it's set up, it's really not that bad. But again, I really wish I could just stream. I could just say, I don't want to stream to Instagram or Facebook. I just want you to don't record to the glasses. Go into a recording mode where you just shove it all to my phone, and then I could do a 30-minute video on another hardware review or something. So those are your settings there.
Camera. Button. Communication. Button. Camera. Button.
Camera.
Communication.
Communication. This is
Communicate hands-free with
for
calling and messaging. Your phone. Carrier charges may apply.
So I've set up, this is where you can use it as your phone headset, so you can make calls with your contacts. You can text them. I've set that up.
Messenger. Sharing. Instagram.
So Messenger and Instagram, again,
WhatsApp.
I don't use any of those because I'm old apparently or something. I just don't care. So I don't use those and I haven't set them up. But if you want to, you can also configure those, and so you can say, hey, I want to send a message through WhatsApp or whatever. If you so choose, you can.
Communication button. Music button.
Music. Here's
Auto
your
pause,
services for
on.
that.
Auto pause. Switch button on.
Oh, this is kind of cool. So, yeah, if you are wearing the head or the glasses and then you take them off, but you don't pause the music, as long as you take the headset, or I keep calling it a headset. But as long as you take the glasses off, it'll pause the music, and then when you just put them back on your head, it'll just start playing again. So that's kind of a cool feature you can turn on
Device
and
settings,
off.
help and support, button, music, button, Amazon Music, button.
So I have Amazon Music,
Apple Music, button.
Apple Music,
button. Apple Music, Calm, button.
Calm?
Words.
What is that?
Characters, caps, A, L, M.
Oh, Calm. I don't know what that is.
Spotify. Button.
Probably some, I wonder if that's some meditation thing. I don't even know. Um,
Spotify. Button.
and then, of course, Spotify. I just want to see
Button.
if it says anything about
Device
what
settings.
calm
Heading.
is.
Daily Calm with Open Ear Audio.
What?
Listen to guided meditations, music, inspiring stories, and more.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. So I'm just going to back out of this. I don't care
Close. Button.
right now. But okay, apparently it supports a meditation
settings.
thing. That's
Heading.
kind of cool, actually.
Apple Music. Button.
So yeah,
Page
I mean,
202. App info. Button. Wi-Fi. Button. Glasses update. Button.
so I can look for
Gallery.
glasses
Button.
updates,
Notifications. Gallery. Button.
gallery
Notifications.
preferences,
Button. Glasses. Wi-Fi.
notifications.
Button.
You can have it read you your, it can tell you that you have a notification, and I think it can even just read it for you automatically. I don't have it read it to me automatically, but I do let it tell me if I got a notification, and then all I have to do is, once I know that I have one, all I have to do is say the keyword and say, read me my notification, and it will. So it could be a text message, it could be an app alert. Kind of neat, I guess.
App info. Button. Data and privacy. Button. Legal and safety. Account. Button.
So all that stuff is pretty
Home.
same.
Button.
So I'll go back home.
Connected. Glasses app. Say hey Meta to learn and create. Ask questions and spark your creativity anytime. Button. Double tap to select.
Okay.
Share your view on a call. Show what you see from your glasses during the WhatsApp or Messenger
So
call.
these are just different
Button.
suggestions.
Double tap to
I
select.
think these might go into the tutorials again or something.
Play Amazon Music instantly. Start an Amazon Music playlist made just for you. Button. Double tap to select.
Okay. I won't do that because I'll get copyrighted if it ends up playing a nanosecond of a song, even though other people get away with it.
Gallery. Button.
So on the bottom
204.
here's the
Connected.
gallery.
Glasses battery 49%. Button.
So
Takes you
I
to settings.
have two rows right now. I've got
Photo.
two
June 6 at
photos.
11:39 a.m. Photo. June 6 at 11:39 a.m.
So I've taken two photos. These are those vending machine photos I was talking about earlier. And there was some weird glare because in the images you can kind of see, like, you can see me in the picture. It reflected in the glass, so it wasn't the best picture because of the lighting and whatnot. But even so, maybe if I could have got it without the reflection. I tried it from a few different angles and I deleted some of the other images. But so if I were to go to one of these images,
June 6 at 11:39
I could
button.
Go to the button. There's a one on a little
Save
button in the
button.
upper right hand corner.
Save button. Delete button.
So let's just delete it.
Delete from both, but you can delete from MetaView only, or from both MetaView and your phone's camera roll.
So I can delete from MetaView or the camera.
Delete from Meta. Cancel button.
I'm just going to cancel. I'm not going to delete it for now. We'll go
Back
back.
Photo. June 6 at 11:39 a.m. Photo. June
Okay,
6 at
that's really
11:39.
bizarre. I hit the
Photo,
back
June
button
6
and
at
it doesn't go
11:39.
back.
Photo. June
I think I just figured out a
Photo.
bug.
June 6 at 11:39 a.m. A vending machine with bottles of voiceover off.
Because I'm trying to figure. It worked earlier, and maybe it's just because I'm trying to record. It's being stupid. I'm just going to close it and reopen it again. I was doing the scrub gesture and it worked earlier. I don't know if it's just because I'm mirroring or what, but it's just not going back
Voiceover on.
when I'm in
MetaView.
that mode
Connected.
for now
Glasses
for
battery
some
49%.
reason.
Gallery button.
But if I go back into my
Selected.
gallery, I've got a video on my
29
second
seconds.
row.
May 30th.
This is that short little 30-second video clip that I had posted directly to Twitter the day I got my glasses. I'm like, hey, let's see if this works. So there's that, but at the top of this gallery screen,
Connected.
oh, it's
Connected.
not there
Glasses
because
battery
I don't have
notifications
any.
button. New
But if
notifications are available.
if I just, okay, I'll just flat out, I'll just take a picture real quick.
One
So
media found.
Yep, one video phone. So
One
now
media
you
found.
see something
Import.
up here.
One media found. Import button.
Import.
One media found. Import. Join
Now it's
Wi-Fi
going to
to
ask
media.
me,
Searching for glasses Wi-Fi alert. MetaView wants to join Wi-Fi network RP Meta 00F7 2.
tell it yes.
Button.
So it uses its own Wi-Fi instead of
MetaView. Join Wi-Fi
Bluetooth to
import media.
connect.
Searching for glasses Wi-Fi.
And so hopefully it won't get too mad at me here. There we go. So now I just took a picture of my tower and my TV. So again, I'm going to turn voiceover off because it's being stupid during recording. There we go. So yeah, I mean that's how you import a video clip or a photo. Uh-oh. And I just lost connection to my phone. Oh, I know why. Okay, I know why. Because when I triggered the network, it kicked me off from the computer. Okay. Give me one moment. Let me reconnect yield phone. Oh, it is laggy. It's pissed. Um,
Center, home, line control center, selected, focus, screen mirroring, button, double, eagle fang, voice over off.
I should have known that it would do that. 9404. All right, 9404. And we'll reconnect again. Yeah, because when it connects, because it's faster than Bluetooth, so when you transfer video and stuff, there we go, then our phone is back. I was like, wait, I was looking at my phone, and then I looked up at the monitor and went, oh crap, where did my phone go? Why am I not hearing voiceover? And then I saw the phone was gone. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that because you won't be recording like I am, but that is how you connect,
MetaView active.
or that is
MetaView
how
active.
you pull
MetaView
photos and videos from your glasses onto the the app, and likewise your photo library.
Meta AI button.
Um,
Selected gallery. Meta AI button.
Meta AI.
Meta AI heading.
This is really nice because it has a history. And I don't know if I can just access.
You are looking at it. Look, what am I looking at?
So let me double tap on
Back
this.
button.
I'm curious.
Expand image for the photo taken. Image, a person sitting at a table with a computer and other objects on it.
Okay, so you can actually. I wonder if I'm able to.
Multimodal source, June 6th at 2:15 p.m. A person holding a remote control in front button. More. Save button.
Okay, so I could save that
Back
for
button.
later. Like if I was out somewhere and I wanted to just take a picture
Back
of,
button.
or
Back
and
button.
ask it a
Back
question,
button.
I could go back and just save that to my camera roll later. So this is
Back button.
very handy. Let me go
Look, what am
back
I looking
here.
at? You are looking at a computer setup with a monitor.
This is what I had just said earlier, and I said, what am I looking at?
You are looking at a parking lot with several cars and buildings in the background.
So there's another picture that I
The
took.
vending machine has various snacks and drinks, such as chips, sandwiches, energy bars, candy, and soda.
Now let me double tap
Back
on that.
button.
Okay, so here's the conversation. This is perfect. This will show you how I was trying to get it to tell me what products were in that vending machine.
The vending machine has various snacks and drinks, such as chips, sandwiches, energy
That
bars,
was the
candy,
initial
and soda.
reply.
More button. List what's available.
List what's available.
I can't help with requests about product pricing or availability yet, but I'll be able to soon.
Oh, you will be able to soon. Interesting.
More button. Which items do you specifically see? I see chips, sandwiches, energy bars, candy, and soda.
So it would tell me that, the broad categories, but it wouldn't tell me, oh, this is Lay's chips, or this is a Milky Way, or Reese's. I could not get it to tell me. Like, I don't care that it didn't tell me the prices necessarily. I just wanted it to try to tell me so I could, see which order things were in, and so I could get it to, I could kind of figure out and independently choose a product.
More button. What's in the top row? The top row has chips, sandwiches, and energy bars.
So I narrowed it down.
More button. How about the second row? The second row has candy, energy bars, and soda.
I love this. I love this log actually because again, I can see what I said, what it said, and there is an option I can delete like specific
Back
conversations.
AI,
So
heading.
when I go back to my
Look, what am I
list
looking at?
here, there's a button in the upper
More
right
button.
here. There's a more button, and there's an option in there where I can have it. I can delete a conversation that I don't want anymore,
Look
and
what's in
I
the
will
vending
probably
machine.
do that from time to time.
What am I looking at? You are looking at a magnification device, possibly for people with vision impairments.
So that was cool. I was at work and I took a picture of the Cloverbook Pro, and it recognized that it was actually some kind of a device, like a CCTV. That was kind of impressive, actually.
This document appears to be a list of accessible iOS apps for learning and magnification. It includes
That's a piece
recommendations
of
such as
paper.
Magnificent, Over 40 Plus, Dold Right, Look Tell VoiceOver
So let me
Tutorial,
look at
and more.
this here
Back
because
button.
here's another history. So here's my first question.
Look, read this document to me.
So you say look, and then read. I said read this document to me, trying to get it to.
This document appears to be a list of accessible iOS apps for learning and magnification.
This
It
is
includes
just kind of a
recommendations such as
handout.
Magnificent,
It's
Over
an
40
old
Plus,
one,
Dold
but
Right, Look More button.
so let's see. Then let's see what I followed up with.
Tell me more about Over 40 Plus.
So I said, okay, tell me more about Over 40 Plus. I've covered that app on the channel ages ago.
I'm sorry, I couldn't find information for Over 40 Plus.
So for some reason, in this case, it was not letting me read that section of the document. And other times I've had better luck, but for some reason, this document I didn't.
For more button. Read me the section about over 40 plus. I can't read documents or text, but I can search for information about over 40 plus.
Yeah, so I really hope that Meta expands its functionality. Like, there's no reason that it shouldn't be able to read you text, because obviously all of these other AIs can. And it's not like, again, we've had Seeing AI for years. So that's not a complicated thing. It's just it has to be allowed to do it. Now, the other limitation is if you take a picture with people in it, it might say there are 3 people in the image, but if you ask it any follow-up information, you cannot get it to tell you anymore. So it'll specifically say, I can't describe people at this time. So it's not that it can't, it's that Meta put a restriction for privacy. And I get it. I mean, for general audiences, people just look. But it's for a privacy and security reasons. And like, remember even when Be My Eyes came out or I don't remember what it was, either Be My Eyes or Envision or something, where because it was using GPT, they didn't allow for a short time, you couldn't describe people, but they made an exception for that app because there was a specific accessibility use case. So they kind of made an exception. So it would be cool if Meta would listen to their disabled community, because these glasses are becoming very popular for the blindness and low vision community for obvious reasons. But if they would provide some of these exceptions for, hey, when I ask you to read me an entire document, if that's what I really want, please do it. If I want to know more about what the person is wearing, or like, describe roughly, give me a vague description of the people like I would in Be My Eyes or Seeing AI or whatever, allow that for, even if you had to check a box under settings to say I am visually impaired or something. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like that either, but that could be a possibility. The other thing that you could do, and I really, really hope that Meta is open to it, like even if Meta does not open up their platform to any developer, period, like just, anybody can develop some kind of add-on to it. But if they would, specifically partner with Be My Eyes and Envision and Seeing AI, if I could, if I had those apps on my phone and it could somehow like the MetaView app could integrate with those and just say like, hey, let me trigger the Envision Assistant, or let me, I could set my preferred, let's say that I didn't want to use Meta, and I could say, let me use Be My Eyes as my primary AI engine. And if they partnered for that, so they had a little API that would work with them, dude, with these glasses and Be My Eyes, oh dear Jesus Lord, that would be extremely cool. And especially if they start doing live video, because these things can record video. So if they were to basically turn like a live monitoring on the glasses on, to where I could just be like, hey, let me look around. And if I have my mic on and my camera on, just being able to look around and have a conversation with the AI to have it describe and answer questions for me about where I'm at, that'd be huge. Again, hands-free. Think about if you're blind or low vision, you got a cane, you've got mobility aid, you've got a guide dog, you're carrying something, whatever. The combination of AI and a simple, lightweight wearable that is just a pair of glasses, that's pretty huge, man. Um, so it's really ultimately in Meta's court. I know that I've heard, I think on Twitter and even a podcast or two, I'm pretty sure that both Envision and Be My Eyes have reached out to Meta to see if they can work out some sort of a partnership. to where they could provide the types of features and descriptions that the apps do, but on the glasses. And like I said, God, please do that,
June 6th at
because
11:31. June 6th at
that would
11:31.
be
June 6th at
so
11.
good.
Back button. Meta AI
That would
heading.
be so friggin' good. But yeah, so there is your AI log file, which I really appreciate.
Settings button. 4
And then you
4.
have a settings
Selected.
tab.
Meta
We
AI
were already
button.
there.
Settings but
So you see how accessible the app is. I can review the conversations. I can import my photos and videos from the glasses to the app. I can customize the settings. I can set it up with my music or social media of source if you're into that type of thing. And that is kind of a look at the Meta Rayban glasses. There are some quirks in how you say things to the AI to try to coax it to get it to do what you want it to do. But in a general form, I will find lots of uses for these, especially when I'm out and about and just, again, people just look over at something and like, oh, I know what that is or whatever. Or, I'm walking somewhere if you're blind and you hear a sound, like, oh, you just look over and go, what is that? And it'll tell you. The other thing that I didn't even think of, I was talking to a coworker yesterday, and when you get when you order like a Uber or a Lyft, and it tells you the color of the car, the description or whatever, the driver's name, and it'll also tell you the license plate number. Now, I haven't tried this, but if the car pulls up and you hear a car like it's turning and it pulls in facing you, you could literally really quickly take a picture of the license plate and just say, or you could just quickly say, hey, what does the license plate say? And then if you kind of memorize what the license plate was, you'd be like, oh yep, that's my ride, or nope, that's not the ride. Because when I was waiting for my coworker to show up yesterday, I looked at a license plate in our parking lot and I read it. And I just said, yeah, what is the license plate? I think like let's see.
look, what are these buttons do? Look, what is that?
Uh,
Look, what am I looking at? You are looking at the back seat of a vehicle and out the window.
okay, so
Look,
it'd
what am I looking
be
at? Look, what am I looking at? You are looking at a row of garages or storage. Look, what does that sign say? Look, what does the license plate say? The license plate says HHR 900. Look, what does the license plate
yeah.
say?
So there's a license plate. Like, okay, I mean, I'm not going to say the whole thing, but
Rows
yeah.
15.
So yeah, you get the license plate number. So again, just
Home.
think
Line
of your
S4.
creative uses just like you would for any other, Seeing AI, Envision AI, Be My Eyes, any of these other tools. Now you can do it in glasses form, and I really, really, really hope that Meta does work with these other assistive tech apps and companies, because again, we've got a very affordable pair of smart glasses that aren't $4,000, and while they don't describe things perfectly the way a blind person would want them to right now. They will get you the gist of what you need, and in some cases exactly what you need. And for the price, you really can't beat it. And if, like I said, if the battery dies, you still got a pair of sunglasses. So there's that. But that is kind of my review, my thoughts, an overview of both the Meta Rayban Smart Glasses and the MetaView app that it works with. Hope you guys found it helpful. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you did. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, twitch.tv/illegally-cited, illegally-cited.com, and of course, right here on YouTube. Until next time, I will chat with everybody again later.